Hello friends, so I welcome you all again in this video lecture series, and as you know I have started a level wise discussion for each of the paper. So first two lecture I have uploaded for the linear algebra, which is level 1 and level 2. Now parallelly I am going to start the first lecture of real analysis, that is for the level 1, right? So ये जो level 1 to 5 मैंने डिसाइड किया है, ये मैंने आपको बताया कि लेवल वाइज ये सारे डिस्कशन होंगे. फर्स्ट वी विल टेक ए प्रॉब्लम विच इज़ लेवल 1, मतलब जो थोड़ा सा नॉर्मल लेवल के प्रॉब्लम है पहले वहाँ से स्टार्ट करेंगे, फिर मॉडरेट लेवल के प्रॉब्लम लेंगे और फिर हाई लेवल के प्रॉब्लम लेंगे, राइट? तो आप सभी इस वीडियो में बने रहेंगे और जितने भी प्रॉब्लम्स मैं सॉल्व करा रहा हूँ, राइट, ऑल दीज प्रॉब्लम्स आर वेरी बेसिक एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम all exam point of view, either CSIR or NET or GATE or SET or PhD entrance exam or NBHM exam, right? So you people just try to solve the problem independently. जैसे ही मैं प्रॉब्लम दूँ पहले आप पॉज करेंगे और फिर खुद से सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करेंगे और जो भी आपके कमेंट है उस कमेंट बॉक्स में जरूर लिखेंगे. तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं. द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑफ लेवल 1 ऑफ रियल एनालिसिस. नाउ सी द क्वेश्चन नंबर 1, राइट? फर्स्ट वी रीड द क्वेश्चन, this question, and then we solve the problem, right? So question number 1 says, consider a function fx is equal to x mod x. X is belonging to the set of real number, right? Then the function fx is, what about this function? Continuous and differentiable at x is equal to 0, right? This says it is continuous and differentiable only at x equal to 0. Second option says differentiable for all x, right, for all the real number except x equal to 0. First says it is only at x equal to 0. Second it is says differentiable for all x, every x के लिए differentiable है except x equal to 0. थर्ड ऑप्शन सेज डिफरेंशिएबल फॉर ऑल x, सबके लिए डिफरेंशिएबल है, कोई भी नंबर ले लें x फ्रॉम रियल नंबर. फोर्थ ऑप्शन सेज कंटिन्यूअस बट नॉट डिफरेंशिएबल, राइट? तो देखिए सबसे पहले चूंकि यहाँ पे x इज इक्वल टू 0 की बात की गई है, इट इज़ वेरी क्लियर. फर्स्ट वी चेक द फंक्शन, व्हाट इज दिस फंक्शन. तो अगर आप इस फंक्शन को देखें, सो फंक्शन इज व्हाट, एफ एक्स इज गिवन, दिस इज एक्स मॉड एक्स. पहले इसके नेचर को देखते हैं. चूंकि मॉड एक्स लगा है तो इट इज़ बेटर वी जस्ट ब्रेक दिस फंक्शन इनटू टू पार्ट. देखिए अगर इफ आप जानते हैं मॉडुलस फंक्शन, इफ इट इज़ पॉजिटिव, इफ एक्स इज ग्रेटर देन 0, इन दैट केस वी विल गेट व्हाट, दिस मॉड एक्स इज पॉजिटिव, सो एक्स इंटू एक्स वी विल गेट एक्स स्क्वायर, राइट? सेकेंड यहाँ पे इक्वल टू भी ले सकते हैं क्योंकि ग्रेटर देन आर इक्वल टू की बात होती है. चूंकि एक्स इक्वल टू 0 पे किया है तो हम अलग से भी निकाल सकते हैं, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. एट एक्स इज इक्वल टू 0, वेरी क्लियर, वंस वी डायरेक्टली पुट वी विल गेट 0. इफ एक्स इज निगेटिव व्हाट विल हैपन, अगर x की वैल्यू निगेटिव है इन दैट केस मॉडुलस मॉड x विल बी माइनस, सो फाइनली वी विल गेट माइनस एक्स स्क्वायर. सो दिस फंक्शन इज बेसिकली divided like what, if x is greater than 0 it is x square, if x is equal to 0 in that case 0, if x is negative in that case minus x square. अब चलिए सबसे पहले हम, चूंकि ये पॉलिनोमियल फंक्शन है आपको दिख ही रहा है, राइट? सो चूंकि डिफरेंशिएबल की बात क्या, कंटिन्यूअस तो है ही है, राइट? हम x इक्वल टू 0 पे भी देख सकते हैं, x इक्वल टू 0 पे जैसे ही पुट करेंगे ऑल दीज आर बेसिकली कंटिन्यूअस, राइट? आप देख सकते हैं ऐसे लिमिट x टेंस टू 0, दिस फंक्शन इज व्हाट, दिस फंक्शन कोई भी आप x टेंस टू 0, चाहे आप लेफ्ट लैंड लिमिट निकालेंगे, आइदर यू फाइंड f0 समथिंग और यू विल गेट f0 माइनस समथिंग, चाहे लेफ्ट और राइट दोनों लिमिट निकालेंगे. इन दैट केस जैसे ही आप टेंस टू 0 करेंगे एक्स स्क्वायर इट विल बी 0, राइट? सो देयर इज नो इशू विद द कंटिन्यूटी, और f0 तो आपको 0 दिया ही है, right? This is equal to f0, so this function is continuous, there is no issue. Now we check the, here we have checked the continuity, right? Now we check the differentiability. How we check whether the function is differentiable at 0 or not, right? क्योंकि 0 ही इसमें दोनों फर्स्ट ऑप्शन में है, अगर 0 पे नहीं होगा तो फिर सारे ही पे ही होगा, राइट? नाउ चेक व्हाट अबाउट एट एक्स इक्वल टू 0. तो जैसे ही आप लेफ्ट लिमिट या राइट लिमिट जो भी आप निकालते हैं f डैश 0 निकालेंगे, राइट? यू कैन जस्ट चेक वेदर इट इज़ फॉर राइट और लेफ्ट. सो लिमिट x टेंस टू 0, दिस इज बेसिकली एफ एक्स माइनस f0 एंड डिवाइडेड बाई वाट, x माइनस 0, राइट? सो यू कैन पुट एनी वैल्यू. देखिए आप चाहे यहाँ पे एक्स स्क्वायर पुट करेंगे, चाहे अगर मैं लेफ्ट लिमिट या राइट लिमिट कोई भी डिफरेंशियल की लिमिट निकालता हूँ, आइदर आई कैलकुलेट एफ डैश जीरो प्लस समथिंग या जीरो प्लस एच बोल सकते हैं राइट हैंड लिमिट, आर वी कैलकुलेट एफ डैश जीरो माइनस लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट, यानी लेफ्ट हैंड डेरिवेटिव और राइट हैंड डेरिवेटिव. इन बोथ केस व्हाट यू विल गेट, लेट सपोज कर लिए पॉजिटिव वैल्यू लेते हैं, सो यू विल गेट एक्स स्क्वायर माइनस जीरो अपॉन एक्स, एंड हियर वी हैव टू टेक द लिमिट एक्स टेंस टू जीरो, राइट. जस्ट सी एक्स स्क्वायर, क्योंकि जब पॉजिटिव लेंगे दिस विल बी एक्स स्क्वायर, सो यू विल गेट व्हाट, फाइनली यू विल गेट एक्स, एंड वंस you put the limit here, limit x tends to 0, you will get what, this is 0, right. So this indicate the left right hand limit exists. अगर आप लेफ्ट हैंड लिमिट भी लेते हैं, लिमिट x tends to 0, और यहाँ पे भी वैल्यू पुट करते हैं, so this will be minus x square upon x, and finally you will get minus x, and once you again take the limit x tends to 0, you will get 0. This means that the limit exists at व्हाट, लेफ्ट हैंड डेरिवेटिव राइट हैंड डेरिवेटिव बोथ आर सेम. सो इसका मतलब है कि जो फंक्शन है वो डिफरेंशिएबल है एट एक्स इज इक्वल टू जीरो, राइट. नाउ सी दिस फंक्शन इज व्हाट, दिस इज डिफरेंशिएबल एट एक्स इक्वल टू जीरो, एंड आल्सो इन द सिमिलर वे यू कैन चेक द डेरिवेटिव एट एनी पॉइंट 1 2 3 4 5 लाइक दिस, एंड यू कैन चेक लिमिट एक्स टेंस टू 1 एफ एक्स माइनस एफ वन and divided by x minus 1, right. So once you check for different point, for every point the limit exists, right. Only the problem is with the 0. Why? Because you know modulus function are basically what, at 0 and left and right. Only the problem is at this point, right. So you know how the modulus function is defined, and based on this if you check for all the point, limit exists, right. So this indicate here the first option says it is continuous and differentiable only at x equal to 0. No, it is basically continuous and differentiable at every point. Here only at x equal to 0, that is okay, but it will exist also for all other point. Why? Because if x is greater than 0, it is only x square. So once you calculate, the limit is always exist, right. And only the problem is at this bifurcating point where this function is basically divided, or you can say that for the x equal to 0, once we move on left and right, only the function is give the different value at this point, and rest of the point it will be same, either we move on left or right, right. So this is continuous and differentiable only at x equal to 0, that is not correct, not only but every point, right. Second, differentiable for all except, no, this will be differentiable at every point, not only at x equal to 0. Here this option is also wrong. Why? Because this is given except x equal to 0, so it is already differentiable at x equal to 0. Now see the next one, differentiable for all x. Yes, this is the correct option. Last option, continuous but not differentiable, this is the wrong option. So only option number C is correct for this case. This is a very easy question, right. In this similar way you can check for rest of the point, you will get the value will be exist, right. Now see the second question. This question is also very important. Now see, these type of questions are basic question. Once you clear your basic concept, then you can easily solve the advanced problem. So first you try to solve these type of small problem, that's why I have taken the level 1. Now read the question. Let Sn is equal to, this is basically closed interval, 1 upon 2 raised to the power n 1, right. This is closed interval, be the given interval, then union n from 1 to infinite, Sn is what. Just see these type of problem, if you draw a figure then you can also solve. Let's suppose you just construct the open interval, right, and or closed interval, and then take its union and then see what is happening, whether it is closed or open. Second, here this ask about if we are taking union from 1 to infinite, Sn is what. So there is a very important result. Everyone knows ki this arbitrary union of open set. Let's suppose this is open set, so whatever we are getting, it is open. Arbitrary union of open set is open. This is a very known result. If finite intersection I from 1 to n oi, arbitrary union of open set is open, finite intersection of open set is open. In the similar way there is the result for closed set also. What? Finite union finite union, yeah, here I write I from 1 to n and Ci. Finite union of closed set is closed, and arbitrary intersection I from 1 to infinite Ci is closed. So ये रिजल्ट आपको पता होना चाहिए if you are solving the problem, right? So this is the first way you can draw the figure and easily you can tell about the problem whether it is closed or open. And second is this way you have learned the standard result. So now if we take the union of this, what will happen? If we are taking union from 1 to infinite Sn, so this is just see union of n from 1 to infinite, this is close 1 upon 2 raised to the power n and 1. Now see, if you are taking the union of all these n from 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinite, you will get what? This side n tends to infinite, up to n tends to infinite, you will get the, this is 1 upon infinite, right? It is close, it is approximately goes to 0, not exactly 0. So what we will get? It is 0, 1. Open close set, right? This is open close set, right? So finally what we are getting, this is not exactly the close set or open set, it is neither. You can say that just close set means what? From both side it is closed. Open means from both side it is open. But here this is neither open nor closed, right? Why? Because this set is open, this is set is closed. So here it is open, no. Here it is closed, no. This is neither open nor closed. So basically this option number C is correct. Once we are taking the arbitrary union, right? Arbitrary union of this set Sn, we will get the open close set, right? Because there is no effect on this end, only we will change the first tuple of this pair, right? For each interval, this is the interval. Once you are taking the what arbitrary union, you will get this is closer to 0. It is clear. Now we try to understand it by the graph also. Now see, this is, let's suppose straight line, and here I just take, this is from minus infinite to plus infinite, right? We will not focus on up to plus infinite, only we focus on up to 1. So I suppose this is 0 and this is, let's suppose this is 1, right? 1 to 0. And now the, if we are taking n is equal to 1, what we will get in this interval? If we are taking 1, so 1 by 2 to 1. So let's suppose this is 1 by 2, right? So first interval is what? From 1 by 2 to 1, right? We cover this area, right, up to for the first thing. If we are taking n is equal to 2, what will happen? 1 upon 4. 1 upon 4 means 0.25. So now see, just this is will cover 1 by 4, right? So now we increase this area. In the similar way, if we are writing, we have put it what? N is equal to 1, n is equal to 2. Now see here very carefully what we are getting basically for this case. If we are putting n is equal to 1, so this is 1 by 2 to 1, right? This interval. If we are putting n is equal to 2, we are getting 1 by 4 to 1. If we are putting n is equal to 3, then we will get 1 upon 2 raised to the power 1 by 8 comma 1, right? So just see, as we are putting the value 1, 2, 3, this only change in the first part, right? At the one end we are changing this value, second end. So in the very if we increase this value, n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so this is going toward closer to 0. So this will cover this whole area, but not actually x equal to 0, right? Why? Because this will not exactly x equal to 0. This we are approximating the value. In the similar way, we are going very large value, let's suppose, right? Means we are increasing the denominator, it is going toward 0 but not exactly 0, right? So this approximate to 0, that's why this end is 0. And now in this way we can try to understand this by the graph also, right? So this is the very easy way. If your concept is clear, you can learn the method, result or whatever, and parallelly you try to understand what is the exact meaning of this by the graph also, right? So I think this is clear to everyone, right? So now we move on the question number 3. So now read the question number 3. Question number 3 says, consider the set of sequence. Now just see, this question is asked in CSIR. but I have just changed the question, means some option I have changed, question is same. Now see, consider the setup sequence. This is the sequence. First try to read the question carefully. This is the sequence X, which sequence is what? This is basically Xn, right? Such that Xn is belong to this set 0 to 1. Just try to understand how the sequence are defined, right? So Xn, this is the collection, this X, capital X is the collection of all those Xn, but here it is the sequence, right? Such that this sequence means x1, x2, x3, x4, right, and so on, because it is natural number, so it is the infinite set, right? Now just see, xn is belong to 0 to 1, means whatever we are taking, either it is 0 or 1, right? The element of this sequence is comes from 0 to 1, and n to n is belong to natural number. Now this says whether x is finite set. It is very clear, x1, x2, x3, n is what? This suffix as it is from natural number, so this is infinite set. So first option is very clear, it is wrong. It is given x is finite and countable. That is the other issue, what is countable or not, but x is not the finite set, very clear, right? Second option says x is infinite set and countable. Third is x is infinite and uncountable. So just see what is countable and uncountable. Just try to understand. Countable, everyone knows how we define the count any set that is countable or uncountable. If it is finite, then there is no issue. It is basically countable, right? See, countable, right? And if it is basically infinite, then only the problem start. If it is infinite and it is equivalent to natural number, then it is countable, right? And if it is infinite but it is not equivalent to natural number, right, set of natural number, in that case it is uncountable, right? Or its countability is basically, if it is countable infinite set, its countability is defined by alif naught. So here it is the real sequence. Now see, try to, this is basically the sequence. It is already telling, it is the sequence which is start from set of natural number to basically this set xn. Now see, and everyone knows how the sequence is defined. Basically, if we define the function like f from natural number to here, we will get fn, right? So the same thing is here. Now xn is what? Xn is from 0 to n. Whatever xn is there, it is belong to 0 to 1. So here nothing but it is defined like from set of natural number, right? X is defined from set of natural number to 0 1. So we can count the number of function, means x is the set which is the sequence. So you know how to define the total number of function. So total number of function is what? If any function that is defined from a to b, right? So the total number of let's suppose total number of element in this set is m and total number of set is in b, then total number of function is what? M raised to the power n. Everyone knows how many function we can create, m raised to the power. So here what is the countability? We have to count it, right? So cardinality or countability of this x is nothing but 2 raised to the power. Here this is set. Try to understand. This is the set which contain 2 element. 2 and raised to the power this n. N means what? Number of element in set of natural number is alif naught, right? It is basically alif naught, right? So you know this is what? 2 raised to the power alif naught, which is basically uncountable, right? So it is very clear what? This set is infinite set and uncountable. So option number C is correct. This option number C is correct. So it is very clear कि how we can encounter these type of problem. अगर आपको sequence की definition नहीं पता, कैसे sequence define होता है, how the real sequences are defined, तो शायद आपको थोड़ी सी problem हो सकती है, right? You can solve this question in many ways. आप चाहें तो क्या कर सकते हैं, इस ऐसे भी बना सकते हैं, या फिर आप मैपिंग करके भी दिखा सकते हैं कि how this mapping is created. Mapping means in term of sequences, right? So I think this is clear to everyone how we define the sequence if these questions are given in this way, right? Now see the question number 4, right? This question number 4, it is also very important from the function of several variables, right? These type of problems are frequently asked, right? So now see, let f x y is equal to xy upon x square plus y square if x square plus y square is not 0, right, not equal to 0, and if this will be 0 if x and y will be 0. So this says fxy is discontinuous at origin, fxy is continuous at origin, fxy is not differentiable at origin, or fx has a removable discontinuity at origin. So now see, this question is basically from part C, right? This question, one problem I have just one, and this second question is also from part C. Part C means more than one option may be correct, right? So now see, first we just try to understand how we define the function in function of several variables. So you know there are two variables x and y, right? Next question is how we define the continuity. So you know, if we have to prove this function is discontinuous in function of several variables, so it is very clear and very easy if we have any point, just like here it is given at x equal to 0 in origin. In all these options it is asked about the origin. So everyone knows, if we pass any curve, either straight line or parabola or circle or whatever you pass through this point, limit must be unique, right? Limit must be unique, then we can say that the limit exists, right? So here just see, if we have any point like xy tends to AB, right? This is the definition of the continuity, right? In function of several variables, if there are two variables, then we can approach like this. So at AB, this condition must be hold, and this condition holds for every path. Means if we are passing anything along this, the limit must be unique, then we can say that it is continuous. Now see, if we just approach along what origin, so this is xy tends to 0 0, because in this question they have asked at origin. So xy is what we can write like limit xy tends to 0 0, right? Xy tends to 0 0, this is nothing but xy and divided by x square and plus y square. Now it is very easy to prove. You can take a different path, right? And for the different path, if we are getting different limit, we can easily say that it is discontinuous, right? One more thing, if the function is homogeneous, right, homogeneous, then it is very clear it will not be continuous. Why? Just see, because we can change the limit, and limit will be, means we can change the path, and corresponding to the path we can get the different limit. Now see here, this numerator is xy, means its degree is 2. Denominator is also, just see, this is also homogeneous function which degree is 2. So since numerator and denominator both are homogeneous, having the same degree, we can take a very simple y is equal to mx like function, or you can take a different function like y is equal to 0 or something. Now first I change like this. If you are taking y is equal to 0, what is the limit? It is very clear, numerator will be 0. Just see, x y is equal to 0. In that case you will get this limit xy tends to 0 0, right? This function fxy will be 0, right? Y 0, because numerator, if you are putting y is equal to 0, means we are taking the x-axis. So we can take the two different path. You just suppose y is equal to x. This is the straight line. What I told you, if any path is passing through this point and we are getting the different limit, this means that limit is not unique, and then the function is not continuous. Now in this case, if we are putting y is equal to x, what we will get? अगर आप ऐसे पुट करते हैं y is equal to x and same limit निकालते हैं, right, 0 0, right? If you are putting, then what you will get this function value? just आप देखिए यहाँ से, if we are putting x is equal to y, तो न्यूमरेटर हो जाएगा x स्क्वायर, राइट, और डिनोमिनेटर भी x स्क्वायर प्लस x स्क्वायर, यानी कितना हो जाएगा 2x स्क्वायर. ये तो हो जाएगा x स्क्वायर अपॉन 2x स्क्वायर, यानी कटने के बाद x स्क्वायर विल बी कैंसिल्ड, यू विल गेट 1/2, right? So this means that for the first case, for the same point, we are getting y is equal to at, अगर मैं उसे किससे पास कराता हूँ, x एक्सिस से, तो लिमिट आ रही है 0. अगर वो किससे पास हो रहा है, चूंकि ओरिजिन है तो नेचुरल सी बात है, यहाँ x एक्सिस y एक्सिस बोथ विल बी देयर, राइट? अगर y is equal to x स्ट्रेट लाइन से मैं पास करा रहा हूँ, इन दैट केस वी आर गेटिंग द लिमिट इज 1/2. दिस मीन्स दैट लिमिट इज नॉट यूनिक एंड हेंस दिस फंक्शन इज नॉट कंटिन्यूस, राइट? वेरी क्लियर. और एक चीज़ और क्लियर है, सिर्फ कंटिन्यूटी नहीं, आप ये भी ध्यान दीजिए कि दिस फंक्शन इज़ वेरी क्लियर नॉट कंटिन्यूस. अगर हमें डिफरेंशियबिलिटी प्रूव करना है, तो अगर कोई फंक्शन कंटिन्यूस नहीं है तो डिफरेंशिएबल भी नहीं होगा, राइट. इट इज़ वेरी क्लियर. ए फंक्शन विच इज़ नॉट कंटिन्यूअस इट इज़ ऑल्सो नॉट डिफरेंशिएबल. तो हम डिफरेंशिबिलिटी पे नहीं जा रहे. इन द सिमिलर वे यू कैन चेक फॉर y इज इक्वल टू एम एक्स, राइट. इन द सिमिलर वे यू कैन चेक फॉर y इज इक्वल टू एम एक्स. और ऐसे भी चेक कर सकते हैं. देखिए m की वैल्यू जैसे जैसे चेंज करेंगे स्ट्रेट लाइन वही है, y इज इक्वल टू 1, m की जगह 1 2 3 4 कुछ भी पुट करेंगे, बट यू विल गेट द डिफरेंट लिमिट फॉर वेरिंग द m. जैसे m की वैल्यू आप चेंज करेंगे आपको डिफरेंट वैल्यू मिल रहा है, राइट. सो यहाँ भी आप लिमिट जैसे ही लेंगे, देखिए यहाँ से y इज इक्वल टू एम एक्स रखेंगे, एम एक्स स्क्वायर, तो न्यूमरेटर में आएगा m, एक्स स्क्वायर नीचे से कैंसिल हो जाएगा, देखिए एक्स स्क्वायर, और यहाँ भी करेंगे एम स्क्वायर एक्स स्क्वायर, सो यू विल गेट 1 प्लस एम स्क्वायर. नाउ जस्ट सी देर इज नो इफेक्ट ऑफ दिस लिमिट एक्स वाई, राइट. एक्स वाई 0 0 इसका कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ रहा है. आप जैसे जैसे एम की वैल्यू चेंज करेंगे यू विल गेट द डिफरेंट लिमिट एंड हेंस पाथ इज नॉट यूनिक. जैसे इसकी लिमिट यूनिक नहीं है, दिस फंक्शन इज नॉट कंटिन्यूअस. तो इस केस में देखिए पहला ऑप्शन है एफ एक्स इज डिसकंटिन्यूअस एट ओरिजिन. यस, दिस इज डिसकंटिन्यूअस. फर्स्ट ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट, राइट. नाउ सेकंड, एफ एक्स वाई इज कंटिन्यूअस. नो, दिस इज रॉन्ग. ऑप्शन नंबर सी, एफ एक्स वाई इज नॉट डिफरेंशिएबल एट ओरिजिन. यस, दिस इज ऑल्सो करेक्ट. वाई बिकॉज देखिए ये कंटिन्यूअस नहीं है तो डिफरेंशिएबल भी नहीं होगा, वेरी क्लियर है, राइट. और लास्ट ऑप्शन, एफ एक्स हैज रिमूवेबल डिसकंटिन्यूटी एट ओरिजिन. नो, दिस इज नॉट रिमूवेबल. दिस इज ओनली व्हाट द फर्स्ट ऑप्शन, दैट इज द फंक्शन इज डिसकंटिन्यूअस, एंड व्हाट द सेकंड इज व्हाट दिस फंक्शन इज नॉट डिफरेंशिएबल. देखिए रिमूवेबल डिसकंटिन्यूटी में हमें दिखाना पड़ता है कि लिमिट एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है लेकिन उस पॉइंट पे डिफाइंड नहीं है, बल्कि उस पॉइंट पे फंक्शन तो डिफाइंड ही है. आप देख सकते हैं एक्स वाई इक्वल टू 0, इट इज ऑलरेडी गिवन 0, राइट. सो option number D is not correct. Option number here C is there, right. This is basically option number C, right. This I have written. So this option number A and C are the correct option, right. It is clear. Now see the next question. So now see question number 5. This type of problem is also very important, right. Now see this question is from the series, right. The series is what? Just see the series. Series is from 1 to infinite, and this is cos n theta and divided by n raised to the power m, where n is from natural number. Now read the question. Uniformly convergent for all real theta, right. Just see this theta you can also write like this, n from 1 to infinite cos n x, basically this is the variable, right, n raised to the power m. So we know this is basically series of function. This is what? Series of function. And you know basically they are talking about the uniformly convergent, absolutely convergent, uniformly. So these topics are very very important. Every time you just see uniformly convergent, uniformly continuity, absolutely convergent, right. So these they ask generally the question from this topic. So how we encounter, how we can say that it is uniformly convergent or absolutely convergent? We can also know कि we take the modulus and we can check whether it is uniformly convergent or not. So there is the very easy technique for series of function. There is Weierstrass M test. So Weierstrass M test, what this test says, if we take this sequence of function, that is m f n x, right, and if it is less than or equal to some sequence, right, if this is convergent we can say that this is uniformly convergent, also this is absolutely convergent, right. So this is called Weierstrass M test. You can check this test, right. So we can use here that test. Now see, if we take the cos n theta and divided by n raised to the power m, right. So you know this cos theta is basically what? This is modulus of cos n theta, this is less than or equal to 1. So here we can say that this is less than or equal to this sequence n raised to the power m, and if we make its a series, right, so this is 1 upon n raised to the power m. Weierstrass M test says if this series, this mn is convergent, then we can say that this fn is also uniformly convergent and absolutely convergent. So now when it is basically convergent, so by p test, everyone knows when it is convergent, by p test 1 upon n raised to the power p, if p is greater than 1, then we can say that it is convergent, right. So here in place of p, what is m? So if m is greater than 1, in that case it is convergent, and hence we can say that this given series of function, that is summation f n x, this is absolutely convergent, also uniformly convergent. So just see the option for which m is greater than 1. In that case, by p-test, this is convergent, this series is basically convergent, and hence we can say that it is uniformly convergent. So here we are using Weierstrass M test. So now see, uniformly convergent for all real theta and m is greater than 1. Yes, this option is correct. Second option, absolutely convergent for all real theta and m is less than, no, m is greater than 1, then we can say that it is absolutely. Third option, uniformly convergent for all real theta, m is less than, no, not uniformly only for the first option once m is greater than 1. Absolutely convergent for all theta and m is greater than 1. Yes, this option is correct, right? So for this question, option number A and D, these two are correct. This question is also from part C, right? So first three question that I have taken, it is from option number B, means part B, and for question number 4 and 5th I have taken from part C. So I think hopefully this lecture is clear the basic concept. These are the first 5 basic questions that I have taken. In the next lecture again I will take few more important problem related to this. One more information, just try to understand. Once I give you the question, first you try to solve yourself. Don't pause the video and try to solve, and then you try for the what. अगर आपको नहीं आता तब फिर आप इसको देखिए और समझने की कोशिश करिए, और फिर जब अगले प्रॉब्लम इस तरीके का ले आऊँ उस समय फिर अपने मन से सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करिए, देखने की कोशिश ना करिए, राइट. वन मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन, we are running the batch for the CSIR June 23, right? And for CSIR, also for SET, GATE, IIT JAM, right, NBHM, PhD entrance exam, those who are interested, they can also join this course, right? In this course you will get the live session, means doubt clearing session, recorded video, PDF notes, PDF books. The medium of the discussion is both in English and Hindi, right? Live session is right now it is running at 7 p.m. validity is 6 months, and test series is also included, means on every Sunday you have to write a test, right? We are covering all the important paper, right, like real analysis, linear algebra, complex analysis, modern algebra, differential equation. In minor paper also numerical analysis, calculus of variation, right, integral equation, topology part. So each of the paper you will get. Right now we are getting giving you 70% off, that is only in 3000. So you can join this batch also to speed up and to get the structured course. Thank you for watching this video.